Hey everyone, ready to move into your first apartment? Before you start packing, let's make sure you're financially prepared. In this video, we're breaking down the essential costs you need to consider when budgeting for your first apartment. From upfront expenses to recurring monthly bills, we'll cover it all. By the end, you'll have a clear understanding of how to create a realistic budget that works for you. Let's get started. First things first. Decide how much of your income you can comfortably spend on rent each month. A good rule of thumb is to aim for around 30% of your monthly income. For example, if you're earning $3,000 a month, you'd be looking at apartments that cost around $900 per month or less. This guideline helps ensure you have enough financial breathing room for all your other expenses. Remember, this 30% rule is just a guideline, and your actual budget might be higher or lower, depending on your unique financial situation. If you have other financial goals, like paying down debt or investing, you might want to aim for a lower percentage. Once you have a target rent range in mind, you can start browsing listings and narrowing down your options. But remember, rent is just one piece of the puzzle. We also need to factor in those additional costs that come with renting an apartment. So, you found the perfect apartment. Congratulations. But before you break out the champagne, let's talk about those upfront costs you'll need to cover before you can move in. First and foremost, you'll typically need to pay the first month's rent upfront. Many landlords also require a security deposit, usually equal to 1 month's rent. Don't forget about the application fee. Landlords often charge this fee to cover the cost of running background and credit checks. Some landlords might require additional upfront costs, like a pet deposit, or even last month's rent. It's always a good idea to ask your potential landlord about all upfront costs during the application process. My pro tip here is to set aside extra funds specifically for these initial costs. That way, you'll be financially prepared to secure your dream apartment without any last-minute surprises. All right, so we've tackled the upfront costs, but now let's dive into those recurring monthly expenses you'll need to factor into your apartment budget. First up, we have utilities. These are essential services like electricity, water, gas, and garbage collection. The cost of utilities can vary depending on your location, the size of your apartment, and your usage habits. As a general rule of thumb, you can expect to pay anywhere from $100 to $150 or more per month for utilities. Next, we have internet and cable. Internet plans can range from around $50 to $100 or more per month, depending on the speed and data limits you need. If you're a big TV watcher, you'll also need to factor in the cost of cable or streaming services. Let's not forget about groceries. Budget around $300 per month for groceries. And finally, we have transportation. If you own a car, you'll need to factor in costs like car payments, insurance, gas, and maintenance. If you rely on public transportation, you'll need to budget for bus or train passes. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground so far, but there's one crucial expense that often gets overlooked: renter's insurance. Renter's insurance is surprisingly affordable, typically costing between $10 and $20 per month. It provides financial protection in case of unexpected events like theft, vandalism, fire, or even water damage from a burst pipe. Imagine coming home to find your apartment has been burglarized. Without renter's insurance, you'd be responsible for replacing all those items out of pocket. But with renter's insurance, you can file a claim and potentially receive reimbursement for your stolen belongings. It also covers your liability if someone is injured in your apartment. Some landlords even require renter's insurance as part of the lease agreement. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to prepare for the unexpected by building an emergency fund into your apartment budget. All right, we're getting close to having your apartment budget completely squared away. But there's one more crucial aspect we need to cover: budgeting for unexpected expenses and emergencies. Life is unpredictable, and unexpected expenses can pop up when you least expect them. It's always better to be financially prepared than caught off guard. Build an emergency fund into your monthly budget. An emergency fund is a stash of money set aside specifically for unexpected costs, like a sudden medical bill, car repairs, or even job loss. Aim to contribute a small amount to your emergency fund each month, even if it's just $50 or $100. Over time, these small contributions will add up, and you'll have a financial cushion to fall back on if an unexpected expense arises. In the next and final chapter, we'll discuss one more essential aspect of budgeting for your first apartment: furnishing your new place. Congratulations, you've made it to the final chapter. We've covered a lot of ground, from setting your budget to planning for unexpected expenses. But there's one last piece of the puzzle we need to address: furnishing your new apartment. Furnishing an entire apartment can seem like a daunting and expensive task, but it doesn't have to break the bank. First, make a list of essential furniture items you'll need right away, such as a bed, a couch, a dining table, and chairs. Start researching prices and comparing options. Don't be afraid to explore secondhand furniture stores, online marketplaces, or even thrift stores. You can often find amazing deals on gently used furniture that's just as good as new. Another great way to save money on furniture is to start small and gradually build up your space over time. Start with the essentials and then slowly add decorative items and additional furniture pieces as your budget allows. By taking your time, exploring affordable options, and getting creative, you can create a stylish and comfortable space without breaking the bank. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to budgeting for your first apartment. Let's recap. Start by setting a realistic budget based on your income. Then calculate those upfront costs like first month's rent and security deposit. Don't forget to factor in those essential monthly expenses beyond rent, like utilities, internet, groceries, and transportation. Budgeting takes a little time and effort, but trust me, it's worth it in the long run. Now that you're equipped with this budgeting knowledge, you're well on your way to finding your perfect apartment and embracing this exciting new chapter.